All right, so for today, I'm going to have you get a separate sheet of paper out. This is going to be for class 2 on Tuesday the 21st, which is a white day, or Wednesday the 22nd, which is a red day. This will be for class 2. You will need a separate sheet of paper, and then you're also going to need something to write with. So here's what I'd like for you to do on this sheet of paper. We're going to go ahead and we're going to split it in half. So you're going to go ahead and do a line across the middle-ish like that. And then we're also going to brainstorm. So you can just draw a line like this. So we're going to have 2 different brainstorms that we'll do. So this will be a brainstorm and then a quick write, brainstorm down here, and then a quick write. Okay? So that's why these ones are bigger. So we'll quick write in those. Okay? All right, so for brainstorming, essentially what we're going to do today is we're going to look at some poems from books, and we're going to kind of analyze them, talk about them, and then do a quick write for them. So the first one that we're going to end up doing, we're going to do a brainstorm first because I kind of want to see what you guys are thinking. So it'll make more sense once you actually see the mentor text, but I want you to write the word hate up here and the word love here. And what I want you to do is I want you to list at least 3 things that you don't like, that you hate, and 3 things that you love, okay? So, for instance, I could put down being cold, something else which has a story with it, but I want to put water. Again, that has a story with it, so it's not going to make sense to you right now. Mice. I hate mice. I don't like them. Some things that I love, I could put down family, put down vacation. Anyway, so I want you to write down at least three things underneath hate and underneath love. So you're going to do that. So go ahead and write those down. If you need more time, you can go ahead and just pause. But again, I want you to have 3 things. So write those 3 things down. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we are going to look at a mentor text. Now, this mentor text is 10 reasons why I hate sirens. That's what this is called. That's why I had to do the hate versus love thing on the sheet of paper. If you want access to this, I'm going to show you where you can find that. If you go into Schoology and you go to the reading writing course and you go to the mentor text folder here. I don't have it up there. Oh, no, I do. It's right here. So poems, 10 reasons, and I believe so you're going to click on that. It opens up and looks like this. It is sideways, so I apologize there, but we're going to do this 10 reasons why first. So that's what we're going to look at. But you can also follow along on my screen. If you need to get this when we get back to school, you can do that as well. If you want to try to print it, you can. Otherwise, you can just get it when you get back. Okay? All right, so I'm going to read this to you. And I'm going to kind of circle some things that I noticed. But as I'm reading it, I want you to think about the things that you are noticing. Okay? All right, 10 reasons why I hate sirens. Because I hadn't eaten dinner and I was starving. Because he was making me a grilled cheese. Because I told him a joke and he screamed with laughter. Because the laughing stopped, but the screaming didn't. Because I heard him drop the pan on the floor. Because he said his chest hurt and he dropped to the floor. Because his eyes were rolling like pinballs. Because I dialed 911 but kept pressing the wrong buttons. Because she said the ambulance was on the way. Because on the way felt like light years. Okay? So when I look at this and I think about like what it is, my first thing that I see is that it has the word because. Okay, so he started each sentence with the word because. Now, when I think about those reasons on why he hates sirens, these are not specific reasons as to why he hates sirens. Because what happens with this is that there's something that has happened, an event that has happened, and that's why he doesn't like sirens. And so a lot of this kind of comes from a memory that he has. So because he has this memory, he doesn't like sirens because as soon as he hears that siren, it takes him back to that memory. Okay? So apparently something not good has happened. I think it's interesting how they have screaming and screaming here, just how they did that, and the whole laughing and laughter. And just the way he kind of wrote that. But memories, but then I also have some sort of emotion coming up here. So I feel like he's scared. And when you're scared, that could be something that kind of translates back to the fact that you hate something because you don't like being scared. Okay? So I want you to think about this also. I'm going to write this too. Is that he's trying to tell a story. There's a story being written here in just why he hates sirens and using the word because. Okay? All right. So then what I'm going to have you do on that sheet of paper that you had out in front of you, this is going to be the quick right here. And it's going to, I want you to follow the same kind of pattern that he did. I want you to push yourself to see if you can do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick one of the things over here that is going to be what you're going to write about. And your title, it does not have to be 10 reasons. You can just say reasons why I hate blank or reasons why I love blank. But then after that, you're going to put because, and you're going to kind of write that story. Now, again, I want you to see if you can kind of translate and how he's able to use memory to get back to that story about why he hates sirens. Or if you need to just list it because that works for you, that's fine. But I want to see if you can push yourself as a writer, okay? So I'm going to pick one thing. I'm going to pick water, so I'm going to circle that. And you're going to have about 2 minutes. So what I want you to do is you're going to set a 2-minute timer. And I want you to write for 2 minutes. And each of your sentences should start with the word because. So I want you to try to mimic his writing, okay? So go ahead and pause this and set a 2-minute timer and go ahead and do your 2 minutes of trying to write like this author and starting your sentences with because. All right, go ahead and pause and do that for 2 minutes. All right, so at this point you should be back and you should have your quick write over here. If you wanted to title it, like you could put down reasons why I hate, and mine's water. So if you want to title your piece, you should already have something written here. You already have the words because, and you already have yours, okay? So you should have multiple things on there, but you should have that quick write, okay? All right, next thing I want you to do is we're going to do another brainstorm. And in this one, I want you to put things that you believe. So you could do the whole thing of I believe or something that you believe in, okay? So you can kind of put down bullet points here. So I believe in, I can put family. I believe in second chances. I'm going to get 5 things under here, okay? So 5 things that you believe in. I'm going to put down I believe in failure because failure leads to success. So I could even just do this to kind of give myself a reminder as to what I'm talking about. But again, I want you to have 5 things listed on what you believe or what you believe in. Okay, I'm going to get one more. Just put down this. All right, so you should have 5 things that you believe or believe in. Okay? All right, so again, we're going to go ahead and go to this mentor text. What I want you to do is you're actually going to read this one by yourself. And after you read this one, I want you to kind of pick up on things that you noticed that the writer did. But you need to read it first and then pick out things that they did. Like obviously we already see something that's being repeated. But I want you to read it. If you want to pause it and just read it from here, that's fine. Or if you would rather go back to this and kind of read it on here on your screen, you can also do that. Okay, so go ahead and pause and read this for me. Okay, so at this point you should have read this piece. And something that I know a lot of kids saw is that it started with I believe. Every statement started with that. So I'm going to go through and just kind of box those in because that's where she began each thing. Very similar to what we did with the because statement as the previous one. Okay. Something else that some people said is that they looked at it and they were like, hey, actually, I do believe that too. And so if you wanted to go back in and kind of put a star next to things that you believe in, you can also do that. If you wanted to add it to your list, you can also do that as well, because maybe there's something that speaks to you that you were like, yeah, I believe in that as well. So you can put that down. Okay? All right. So then what you're going to do, again, you're going to have 2 minutes. You're going to do a 2-minute quick write, and you're going to mimic this author and how she was writing her statements of I believe. So over here, you're going to take this and you're going to start with I believe or I believe in, and you're just going to start writing. You're going to have these 5 that you have already, but as you continue to keep writing, let your brain kind of wander, because your brain's probably going to go, oh yeah, I believe this too. Oh yeah, I believe this too. So if it gets down to it and you have more than what you have over here, awesome. If you get down to it and you write stuff that's not over here, that's great too. Okay, so go ahead and set a 2-minute timer, and I want you to go ahead and write for that 2 minutes using the style that Jacqueline Woodson did here. I believe blank. I believe in blank. Okay, so 2 minutes. Go ahead and do that, please. Okay, so at this point, you should have your statements over here that I believe, ... Like you have your statements that you have written. Okay. And then what I'm going to have you do is, this really was just a quick write. I wanted to challenge you in the sense of writing in a different way. We'll come back to these texts later to do different reading content. But what you'll need to end up doing with these, or with this, is the piece of paper that you wrote on, I need you to take a picture of it and send it to me so I can give you credit for doing it. When you get back to school, you're going to want to make sure to get these 2 different mentor texts so we can tape them onto page 15. If you wanted to actually go ahead on this piece of paper and write page 15, you can also do that, so that way you know what page that goes on to. But really all I'm looking for is that you have taken a picture of this and you send it to me so I know that you have done the brainstorms for both and the quick writes for both, as well as just kind of doing all that. Anyways, I'm talking too much. Okay, anyway, so take a picture of that, send that to me. When you get back to school, you're going to get these from me, and all of it will be taped on 15. Okay? All right.